Today I'm going to tell you what actually type 1 error and type 2 error is. It is very important phenomena in the research as well as in statistical activities. Generally, we in research we draw hypotheses based on our past knowledge, literature resource, and the expert's opinion. And most of the cases we draw null hypothesis. So in testing hypothesis, we test the null hypothesis based on samples, and similarly based on small samples we draw conclusion about the population, or rather we draw parameter about the population. And in this course of action, error in judging the hypothesis uh, is possible, is logical, it is possible. So sometimes researchers they commit mistakes in correctly judging the hypothesis. So if we see the course of action while judging the hypothesis, the researcher may accept the null hypothesis, or may reject the null hypothesis. And in this course of action, in this accepting or rejecting the hypothesis, sometimes they are right or sometimes they are wrong. So in a nutshell, it can be said that there are four course of action. That is, one is accepting the null hypothesis when it is actually true. I repeat, accepting the null hypothesis when it is actually true. Accepting the null hypothesis when it is false. This is one type of error. Secondly is rejecting the null hypothesis when it is false. And the fourth one is rejecting the null hypothesis when it is actually true. This is another type of error. So there are four statements while in the course of accepting or rejecting the hypothesis. One is accepting the hypothesis when it is true, another one is accepting the hypothesis when it is false, the third one is rejecting the hypothesis when it is false, and the fourth one is rejecting the hypothesis when it is true. So these are the four statements of accepting or rejecting the hypothesis. Now, as I said, in these four statements, two statements are correct and two are wrong. So type 1 error and type 2 error, they are related with the wrong statements or the wrong decisions taken by the researcher. So let me explain the first one, which is type 1 error. Type 1 error is known as, or can be defined as, rejecting the null hypothesis when it is actually true. I repeat, rejecting the null hypothesis when it is actually true. Now this is considered as the most dangerous statement, or most dangerous decision taken by the researcher, that is rejecting the null hypothesis when it is actually true. Now this is also known as level of significance, and it is denoted by alpha. In statistics, we actually consider this type 1 error as critical region. I mean to say that while deciding about uh, one tail hypothesis, one tail test or two tail test, we place the critical region in the one end of the normal curve, that is either positive side or negative side, and it will be more clear when I will be discussing you and I will be explaining you what type 1 one tail and two tail tests are. So it is the level of significance or type 1 error or alpha. This is mostly used in judging the critical region, and this is fixed at 0.05 or 0.01 level, right? So type 1 error is by the researchers, it is fixed at 0.05 or 0.01 level. The next one is type 2 error. Type 2 error is or can be defined as accepting the null hypothesis when it is false. This is not that much dangerous or that much harmful decision, but though it is a false statement, and it is also a wrong decision. It is denoted by beta, And how to test this? It is tested by using the formula 1 minus beta. Whatever the value of beta would be, that is deducted or subtracted from 1, and it is also known as power of test. Now the second question is, this is what is type 1 error and type 2 error. Now the second question is how to minimize these two errors. Now if we fix the sample size at a certain number and try to minimize both the errors, it is never possible. As because if you try to minimize say type 1 error, then simultaneously the second type 2 error will increase. It's like seesaw. If we try to increase one, the another one will increase, or vice versa. So what is the way out? There are two way outs. One is by increasing the sample size. So first way is, if we increase the sample size, there are chances of decreasing the type 1 error. As I said, the type 1 error is most harmful. Now testing of hypothesis is done in the midway of the research activity. So after the collection of the data, I mean samples have already been selected, then treatments have been employed on them, and then data have been collected. So say in the midway, it is not always possible to again increase the sample size. It is not feasible. And secondly, and moreover, what happens that if we increase the sample size, then the researcher loses the control over the sample. So actually, in research point of view, it is never feasible to increase the sample size in midway of the research activities. So what is the second option? The second option is to identify which error is most dangerous or most harmful. As I said before, that in research activities, type 1 error is considered as most harmful error. So what researchers they try to do, they try to fix the type 1 error at certain level, and then they try to minimize the type 2 error. So what the researchers generally do, they try to fix the type 1 error at 0.05 or 0.01 level. As I said before, that type 1 error is fixed at 0.05 or 0.01 level depending upon the sample. So either it is fixed at 0.05 or 0.01 level, and then the researcher tries to minimize the type 2 error. Now let me give you an example how dangerous is wrongly judging type 1 or type 2 error or null hypothesis. So suppose during this corona period, when we all are suffering, somebody is interested to find out or to discover a medicine, rather invent a medicine of corona pandemic, and he or she say draws two hypotheses. One is null hypothesis, that is there will not be any effect of that particular medicine on COVID patient, and the second one is there will be effect of the alternate hypothesis would be is there would be effect of that particular medicine on COVID patient, right? Now say after that, when the researcher when the researcher tries to test the hypothesis which was drawn by him or her, now in that course of action, he or she rejects the null hypothesis wrongly. That means he rejects the null hypothesis, which was there will not be any effect of that medicine on COVID patient, and he rejects that wrongly and wrongly accepts the alternate hypothesis, that is there will be effect of that medicine on COVID patient. So this mistake was committed by the researcher, that he or she rejects the null hypothesis, like that which was actually true. The statement was true, the hypothesis were true, null hypothesis were true, but he or she rejects the null hypothesis and wrongly accepts the alternate hypothesis. And then after the research, that medicine is employed on the COVID patients, and the COVID patients say suffer from that. as because the statement was wrong, the decision was wrong. This is what is the harmfulness of, or the dangerous aspect of type 1 and type 2 error. So that is why it is always said or suggested that type 1 error should always be fixed at 0.05 or zero point 0.01 level, and type 2 error should always be reduced or minimized accordingly. We should not straightway reject the null hypothesis wrongly. So if it is so, then the entire research process, say, I mean, there will not be any useful effect of the research process. That is what is type 1 error and type 2 error is. Thank you very much.